What is going on, friends? Sean Don coming back with a technical analysis. Here we have Tucker Kindig. Just set a big ol' personal best this past weekend. I think he said just over 3 meters to get over 57 meters. So that's pretty dope. Uh, yeah, but before we get into this video, I just want to let you guys know if you're interested in a technical analysis of your own, go to www.sean. No, that's not the right one. Oh, www.gripandrip.co. It's my new website, new coaching website, new business. All right, gripandrip.co. Go sign up. Any kind of online coaching needs I can fulfill. All right. So let's take a look at Tucker's video. He sent me a couple from practice, couple from competition. And this is, I have to imagine, this is best throw from competition. It's the best looking one of all all four that he sent me. And I'll try to go through and kind of elaborate on why I picked this one versus the others and what I saw in the other ones and versus what you do well in this one. So yeah, it's a real solid looking throw there. Yeah, you said you're trying to work on catching that first turn a little bit earlier, getting that right foot down, you have the tendency to float, and then also just being long and connected, which is always a good thing. Um, so let's break it down. Starting square at the back of the circle, reaching over to the right well, chest up, turning back, shoulders turning back well. No step up, just feet static on the ground. Turning, shifting over to the right again. Coming through entry. You can see a good sit back here in the hips. Very nice there. It's hard to tell from this angle, and I know, like I said, you sent practice and competition stuff, but I think this is the one that I wanted to review. The practice angle was a bit better angle, but this is still good, but you just can't quite tell how patient you are, like where the ball's at when it gets through zero, what the left side's doing, that stuff. But you can get a general idea. Like, this looks pretty good, pretty patient, pretty long, pretty connected, like you said, as you're trying to do. And then you can see the right hip work up into the ball, chase the ball around the right really well. Left side's pretty connected. Whole body's pretty connected. You can see a little bit of tension in this right arm, it's a little bent. You can see the left side is going to be leading a little bit because that right side is bent and kind of behind. And then, but that being said, you do catch this first turn pretty solid. Forward in the direction of the sector, hips look like they're pretty much underneath you. There is a little bit of over rotation still. So what I think you need to do in order to limit that over rotation is to drop this left knee a little bit more. So as the ball goes around the left one, straighten out this right arm. That's gonna across all the videos that you sent me. It does look like you have the tendency to kind of keep this right arm bent and kind of lead with the left side, but you have decent patience with that. But if you straighten out this right arm, you get the hammer just a little bit more ahead. It gets a little bit more free, and the ball gets more free around the left. It's going to go more forwards towards 180. That's going to pull you a little bit forward towards the sector, which is going to prevent you from over rotating. So along with that, you can also kind of help it out by dropping this left knee towards 180, kind of dropping it down towards the ground and kind of stepping forwards a little bit more. In the entry, like I said, if you're trying to think about stepping around, you're going to actually end up over rotating because the ball's pulling you around. So you need to be kind of like the linear force in the throw. So drop that left knee down, step forward a little bit, solid catch position, and then you can see, so this is kind of what I'm talking about, why leading the ball with the left side with his right side kind of behind you, with that right arm not straight, is kind of a bad thing, because you see on this catch, you catch super deep with a lot of separation, but then what happens with this separation? If you catch with this much separation, you're going to have to be really patient to get the ball out ahead of you, to let the ball get free. So we're going to see what happens here, but double support is pretty good. You can see it's interesting. You land on the ball of the foot, but then as you turn back, your heel comes down. That's really interesting. I've never seen that before, but stability is stability. And it looks pretty stable. Left side, pretty good. But then you can see that left side pulling back just a little bit. It's good that you're getting the same kind of direction and pendulum sort of backwards. You're hitting that really pretty solid. But then you're going to see this left side lead again. And you're going to see that right arm kind of behind you. So keep that right arm straight. Let the ball get ahead. Um, you're leading it just a bit again, so you're catching with a lot of separation. But this catch position looks pretty solid. Hips are underneath you. Chest looks pretty square to the ball. Ball to the foot. And then you see as the throw goes on, you start to lead the ball a little bit more and more. The left side leads more left heel grounds. Left side coming across the body. Right arm is bent. So unless you have like some sort of arthritis already in your elbow, get that right arm straightened out. Get the ball just a little bit more ahead of you. I know it feels good to feel the hammer through this left shoulder, but it also limits the throw as well, where the hammer doesn't really quite get free. So you got to get that ball ahead of you a little bit more. Control this left side. You can see the head start to peek around the corner a little bit. Still solid pendulum coming through, but same thing. Right arm is bent. Head's peeking around the corner. Solid catch position. Hips underneath you. A little bit less separation, but still facing the hammer, but that's totally fine. Working back. Losing pendulum a little bit here, but as you get into like 3 and 4, it's not as dramatic as it is in earlier on in the throw because the ball's pulling on you a little bit more. But you're still kind of balancing it out pretty well. But then same sort of thing. Right arm is a little bit bent, head's peeking around the corner, left side's leading. Good direction. You can see the tension of the ball pulling you towards 180, and you can see the orbit grow. That's why I like this throw. You can also see the orbit grow towards 180 every single turn. And then you catch, hips underneath you, flat catch, square, arms finally starting to relax, hips getting up into the throw, and then a really solid square finish out there. So yeah, really solid toss, man. Like I said, in some of the other videos, the right arm is a little bit more pronounced, and when this right arm is a little bit more bent, the orbit's a little bit more stuck up over here on the kind of like around like just after 90 degrees before 180. Or sometimes you're missing direction, sometimes you're pulling that left side a little bit more than usual, but this is a good balance of everything. So I really like this, and like in terms of what you should be trying to do, this is kind of what I think you need to do. Just get that right arm straight, control that left side a little bit more, and then try to work the hips a little bit more. If you are working the hips more, it'll be easier to relax the upper body. Or I should say, as the ball gets more free, if you're working the hips, you're going to be more connected with it. Whereas if this left side's leading, that's kind of artificial connection in a way. You're creating your own tension instead of letting the ball create the tension and your hips just turning with it. You can also see, I think, because this left side is pulling so much here, that's kind of why you're losing direction, because the left side is not quite strong enough to hit a normal pendulum on it, whereas if the ball is a little bit more square to you, you'd be able to hit the pendulum with the hips and the entire back, not just the left side. But that being said, your single support and your turns are pretty tidy overall. So yeah, pretty solid toss, dude. Let me know if you have any questions. If anybody else out there would like technical analysis, go to www.gripandrip.co. All right. Until next time, Sean Don signing off.